What's up, YouTube? Eugene here, joined by my fellow perfume snob, KRISTO, and we're just hanging out at the Croatian Park here. A beautiful summer day. It's actually, like, not humid.
No.
And today they had a warning for, like, a heat alert, a heat warning. And we're just kind of hanging out, planning to do some videos. I've got some bottles here of things that KRISTO's never smelt. He's got some things that I've never smelt, so we're just planning on doing a first impressions. A lot of these are kind of new releases, so there should be some, some interest in these.
So I kind of have a couple things that you happen to have never tried either. One I really want you to try that I think I'm interested to see what you'll think of it, and another that just kind of happened because the video kind of fell together. So
I think someone's drowning in the river, or they're screaming for help.
So yours are all newer releases.
Yeah.
Mine have been around for a while, but I think there'll be things you're interested in.
And you're not telling me what they are.
Well, the one I'm not, because it's okay. We'll get to that one when we get there. But yeah, yours I know what they are.
It's completely blind. All right, so here is the newest. Well, it's been a few months now, but this is Cuir from Guerlain's Absolu, the Orient collection. Before I let him smell this, I just want to be, the first to say next year will be the newest member, Patchouli.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. So I'm excited for that too, because I love Patchouli, and I kind of have fallen for this whole line, even though it's really sharp, dry, synthetic woods, but somehow for me they work. Have you smelt this yet? You haven't smelt it.
I've heard so many things. Kovacs mentioned how good it was as
I'll
well.
let you spray. You can put on skin. You can put it on paper.
I want to do paper first.
What are you expecting, first of all?
Okay, so I've heard. Okay, both you and Kovacs said you didn't want to ruin it for me, but I've heard kind of both of you. You didn't mention notes, but I've heard that it is like a classic Cuir.
Okay.
A classic leather.
Okay.
So that's kind of all I know. I've stayed away from Fragrantica.
You haven't read the notes?
No, intentionally, because I'm really excited about this. I've heard both of you sound quite positive about it, so I've got good things in mind. I like the series as well. There's a few I genuinely love. There's a few that are kind of like, okay, but nothing horrible. So
you're familiar with all of them in the collection?
Except for this. Okay. Exactly, yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. So right away, it reminds me a lot of Santal Royale, no question.
Okay.
In supporting notes, perhaps, it's starting to remind me a little bit of, like, Tuscan leather.
Really?
Yeah. Not sweet. I don't find it that sweet.
I find Tuscan leather more birch tarry, and this more Shalimar suede.
It's a long time since I've smelled Tuscan leather as well, to be fair, but... Okay, it's kind of different than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting like a 1930s classic like Cuir de Rossi. But I don't really get that. This to me smells much more modern.
Is it leather centric?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just not like Cuir de Rossi, Mitsuko.
No, because those are very green and, very classic and traditional.
Yeah, this is interesting. I like it, but it's not what I was expecting at all.
Okay.
It is a bit sweet, for sure.
I find the opening a little bit sweet and harsh to my nose, and it's my least favorite part. And I almost get like that Le Petit Robe Noir cherry.
There's something in there that is sweet,
but
right?
The notes are ylang, ylang, and osmanthus.
I like it. It's not what I was expecting. Okay, so I know the Chariol, one of the Chariols that smells like Tuscan leather that I'm more familiar with, and Chariol is essentially a clone house. But it reminds me of the one that reminds me of Tuscan leather. Maybe there's a bit of difference in there. I kind of lost interest in Sharial after I really realized that it was essentially a nice clone house. I like it. It's not what I was expecting at all, and I would like to try it on skin a little bit more closely, but I like it. Initially, I enjoy it.
Okay.
I can't see this being like a big, heavy-hitting, kind of winter fragrance like I think of Santal. I could see this being good for summer.
Extremely strong. Like,
really?
Yeah, extremely strong on me. Like, I can smell it, in the warm weather. I've worn it the other day, and it's like almost every single breath that I take.
Really?
I'm smelling it, and it gets quite salty. Almost animalic. Not almost. It is animalic.
Okay, maybe this will just be totally different on skin, but
I get a lot of orris root. I get a lot of violet in the dry down.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see kind of a sweet powdery thing.
Quite herbal. It's got that signature Terry Wasser tobacco note in the dry down.
Interesting. I like it. It's not at all what I was expecting. I like it, though.
But they're usually not. Like, how many times do you smell something and go, yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting for it to be?
Just kind of based on what I was, tried from the rest of the line. This seems much more modern than the rest of the line, in my opinion.
I find it much more less harsh than the rest of them.
Okay.
But, okay, let's go on.
Yeah, let's move on.
We'll leave this here. We can always come back. We can come back to this. All right, next we got...
I'm both excited to try this and kind of like...
I actually got this from, the Chanel counter. They're like, hey, do you want to try this? Because the Creed counter would never give this out.
They would. And I even said that to you. I was like, there's no way the Creed counter gave this to you. They'd be like, no, we have no samples unless you bought it at, full price. So it's a long time since I've smelled Aventus in general. And I like Aventus. I just don't think it's the greatest fragrance ever made in the human history.
In bro history.
Yeah, it's just like, and I said this on the way over here when you mentioned that you had a sample and we were going to do this video. I was like, if you just gave me a cross-section of 100 niche fragrances, I would, and I didn't know what any of them were, I had never tried any of them, I would probably place the original Aventus somewhere in the middle. In that I don't love it, but I don't dislike it.
I feel the same way about Aventus. I think it's a good fragrance. This, I don't like. This, to me, smells cheap and hollow, and almost like a clone of Aventus. Or like a dollar store version.
So I think right away, again, I'm kind of unimpressed. It already smells different to me. I was going to say, I noticed what I thought right away in the opening was more of an apple, like a red apple, rather than a pineapple. I think...
I don't get much depth from it.
Yeah, see, like, the kind of fruity note in the opening seems to already be gone.
And that's what I mean by hollow and almost like one-dimensional. So it's almost like Creed's kind of captured the niche market with Aventus, and they're like, all right, let's get the designer crowd with the Cologne version.
And it's still that, and I've gotten in so many arguments with people about batch variations. I think it's more quality control and aging rather than, Olivier Creed squeezing a little bit of extra pineapple into this one batch. You know what I mean?
Quite a bit of orange in here too.
This still gives me that kind of green ashtray feeling that I get from the regular Aventus, but the opening's a little bit fresher.
It smells like a cheaper version of Aventus. Like, the leather is still there.
It's so long since I've tried the original Aventus. So again, if I had never tried Aventus...
It's too fruity for my taste.
It's nice. If I tried this at the designer counter for $125 for 100 ml, I'd be like, yeah, that's all right. I'd consider a bottle. But then if it was at a niche boutique counter and it's like $500 a bottle, is it the same price point as Aventus?
I'm not sure.
I'd just be like, you're joking. Like, are you serious? You're charging $400 or $500 for this?
To me, it smells like shit. It's fucking garbage is what it is. It's hollow, and it's a cheaper version of Aventus. Let's be real here.
I don't mind it, but I wouldn't pay over $100 for 100 mil. It's okay. It's just okay, and it gives me that kind of green ashtray vibe that I get from the original that I found kind of ho-hum.
All right, fuck Creed. Let's move on. And here we've got, this is a sample of Diptyque's newest, how do you pronounce that? Minthé?
Minthé? I don't know.
Minthé.
I don't know much about it.
So when I had originally sprayed this, like, in the air,
Wow.
I thought it was fantastic.
Wow.
And then when I let it dry down, I was like, this is getting cheaper by the minute.
Really? Okay. Okay, so I think that's a mint characteristic. So I've got a couple mint-based fragrances around here, and I find that with both of them, mint is one of those things that just jumps off your skin, jumps off the paper for like the first 20-30 minutes, and then it's really easy to die down and to get kind of flat, let's say. And just the first 10 seconds of this, it's just like
It's
fizzy
fantastic.
and
I love
bubbling
it.
and
I love the
sparkling.
opening. It's peppermint. It's peppery. It's herbal. It's shaving cream, like a high quality shaving cream. But after that, it's like just all the way downhill.
Yeah, it's
like,
already turning into flat. Like, you
Yeah.
know, if it was like a soda.
And it just, like, for the rest of the wearing, it just kind of hums at the same beat. Like, nothing really changes. There's no twists or turns or curves or...
I like it as well, but already I can, like, 2 minutes this has been on paper, and it's kind of went from, like, tone
Yeah.
to, like...
It's
and
just like
probably
this,
just gonna...
this annoying hum. That's what it turns into. You know, you have your kid playing in the basement, and they're just, like, they're making these weird sounds, strange noises. That's what this is what this reminds me of. And you just want to tell the kid to shut up.
It's
like,
just like an industrial hum or
it's
something.
like you want to wash this off.
I get it. And I think that's more a characteristic of mint, to be fair to Diptyque. Because
I don't know.
I find it's the same thing with Geranium Pour Monsieur by Mall. The opening is just amazing. It's so captivating and fizzy and, you know, bubbly and sparkling. And then it just quickly dulls down and just kind of goes monotone and flat.
I really love, like, that shaving cream vibe, like, that classic barber shop thing. And this has got it in the opening, and after that, it's just like...
Do you have a bottle or just a sample?
No, I wouldn't buy this for...
No?
Two,
Which is it? Is it like
the
that
75
rounded
mil
bottle? Okay.
EDPs.
I like it, but it's not. It's kind of already losing my interest.
Yeah,
to
totally.
be honest.
And it lasts, you know, the performance is quite good. I've gotten it to last, you know, well into the day.
It's
And-
not bad.
And it's
not
great
bad.
for this summer heat, but
because that'd
it just-
be almost 200 Canadian at
extre-
retail.
it's almost 300.
Almost 3.
Yeah, I think they're 240 plus tax.
Man, they must have gone up a lot.
They have.
All right, let's trudge through.
So I've got one more, and this
Yeah.
is... How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
It's the
Lagune, sur la Lagune.
Jardin series. All right, let's...
So this will be the first Jardin not made by Elena, right?
That's right.
And to be honest, I've not. Is it Larson that took over?
I can't remember her name.
Natalie Larson,
No,
is it?
it's not.
No, I always confuse the two. But yeah, to be honest, I've not been overwhelmed or impressed by much she's done for the series. What are the notes?
I don't have a fucking clue.
Aren't they listed?
No.
No?
Magnolia? Is it Magnolia?
Yeah, it might be. There's something white.
It's very
floral.
floral.
Interesting. I like this. It's not anything that's blowing me away, but it's very swampy.
Magnolia, musk, and lilies.
It's kind of like, it smells like a nice swamp or something.
Lagoons reminds me of beans. I'm sure it's not Lagune. What does that mean in French?
Lagoon, I guess. I guess it's kind of, I don't know, it's swampy. Like, I would see, like, lily pads with,
It's very
like,
white, floral, watery, and kind of balsamic. Maybe a little bit of incense in the background. Not
I
sure if
kind
I
of
would.
like that. Yeah, incense. I get that.
I'm not sure I would pay, Hermes retail for this.
I'd actually like to try this out on skin. Other than the Cuir, so far I like this the most. Is this the last one you have for me to try?
That's it.
I think I like this the most. It's just different. I've never really smelled anything like this, whereas this, I've smelled lots of mint. I've smelled Aventus. This is kind of Aventus Light or Aventus, 1.2 or something.
The Aventus shit.
And I've kind of smelled stuff a bit like this. This is definitely the most unique of the four so far. I can't say I love it, but this has intrigued me the most to try it on skin. It's interesting. I've never really smelled anything quite like this. It's, very green, very, I think there's earthiness, rootiness to it.
To me, it's very watery. Like you said, did you say lily
like
pads,
swampy,
like water
yeah,
pads?
like a lily pad with those, because lily pads have, I don't know what they're called, like the little
Things
blossom.
the frogs jump on.
Yeah. Like the white flower that's on a lily pad. I don't know what type of flower those are, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. Like
it's very spring, very floral.
Yeah, like still water rather than like a lake or a river
very,
or an ocean.
Springtime only. And
yeah.
Other than that, I can't imagine wearing this in any other
I like it.
setting.
I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued, but it didn't blow me away. Okay, so let me do my two quick for you.
Yeah.
Shoot me over 2 test strips. Okay, so the first one is by Serge Lutens. You can obviously tell, but this is in one of those black atomizers, so you can change out the fragrance in there. So I don't think you've ever tried this, just because I know this is really hard to find, and this is one of the something that's been bell jar only except for this release, which was really limited, and I got this in a swap/purchase, so I just swapped and added a bit of extra cash. Okay, so I tried this fragrance, and I'll tell you what it is after you give me your opinion. I tried this for the first and only time in Singapore.
It's sweet and resinous.
I tried it in Singapore about
some leather.
8 years ago, 7 years ago, in this style bottle. It's been in a bell jar only for a decade or more.
I'm getting a lot of leather from this.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm getting a lot of sweet benzoin.
Okay.
Woods.
And this is the first time I've tried it since I tried it way back in probably 2011.
I'm going through the Lutens lineup in my head, and it's almost got this vanilla cookie thing going on.
So there's only about, I think, half a dozen that come in this style that are discontinued.
There's something
or
orangey, almost like an orange blossom leather. Okay. Might not be orange blossom, but it's something orangey.
I've only sprayed this 2 or 3 times since I got the sample.
But, leathers grab me by the neck.
Okay.
It's a suede leather.
So I'll tell you what it is. You might not even be
it's
familiar
with it. It's not Fumery Turk, is it?
No. You know what? Now that I think about it, they're not far off. But
hang on, don't tell me yet.
Okay. It's very beloved, very cult following on this, but it's been out of the 50 ml style for so long. I've never even seen it.
When I first saw the bottle, I thought the Profundus.
No.
I've never smelt that either.
No. It's just a similar bottle. No, Profundus is nothing like this. It is sweet. You're very
sweet.
close.
It's benzoin, incense, a touch of smoke. I wouldn't call it.
Okay, I'll give you what the
what's the name?
Supposedly the primary note in this is Tonka, which
I can
makes
definitely
sense.
say I see the sweet vanilla cookie vibe. What is it?
Fourreau Noir.
I'm not familiar with it at all.
So it's very beloved Serge Lutens, but it's been export only, or what do you call it? Non-export only for a very, very long time. It had a very limited run in these, like they all did, but this one I've not seen, and it came up available for swap, and I was like, yeah, I gotta grab that. Because I think I've ripped on Tonka so bad And Tonka,
That's true. You manifested it.
Tonka has become this note, this bro note that it's like it's become
It's in everything.
the sweeter the better kind of mentality.
Yeah, it just overtakes every single.
And this is so classy and so well done. This makes Fève Délicieuse just look like pure trash.
Well,
it is.
Fève is so childish,
but this is what a really classy, well-made, unisex Tonka should smell like.
Cinnamon in here, some spices.
I could see
So,
that.
you know, I pick up a couple of things from here. I can see Cuir from Serge Lutens.
Really?
I get Cuir Canage.
I think when you said Fumerie Turk, I think that's interesting because I hadn't thought of those, and they do remind me a little bit of each other in that kind of classic sweet way.
Leather.
Really interesting.
What is how do you pronounce it?
Fourreau Noir.
What does that mean?
I believe it's like some kind of scarf, like black scarf or black shawl or stole or something like that. I could be completely wrong, just as I recall.
And it's almost got it's definitely got that Serge Lutens aesthetics.
Yeah.
Almost the spices from Au Gingembre. It's quite spicy.
I really like it. It's just not really good for this weather, but I've only got the one vial, the 130 ml vial. I think I'd like to track down another. But yeah. All right, give me one more. So this one, definitely no secret, another test strip. So I'm going to let Eugene try Serpentine from Comme des Garçons. You might have tried this in passing, but if you did, it was a long time ago.
I don't think I've ever smelled this. Maybe
okay.
once at the, there was a boutique that carried
You
Comme des
can't,
Garçons.
they never had this. I had to get this from the perfume shop in Vancouver.
So right away I'm thinking like a lizard or a snake or
so
some
good.
kind of serpent.
Snake in the grass.
It's green.
Very
and
green.
It's got this crystal clarity to it that I love.
Greeny and weedy.
And veiny. It's
Yeah.
almost like it's very green, but green in the sense that you cut a stem open. A plant stem. Not green grass. But I love the clarity. It's got to be like some kind of musk, like ambrette.
So I bought this back a couple months ago you remember when it started to get really, really, really warm?
Yeah.
And then it got insanely cold again. So I ordered this a couple months ago when it started to get really warm. And then by the time it arrived, it was already really cold again. I think I've worn this once, and I didn't really get a lot out of it. So I'm going to wear a lot of this over the next couple months or whatever, because I think this is just totally summer. Spring as well, but our spring was very, very cold.
You know what this reminds me of is Sisley's Eau de Campagne.
Really
by
interesting.
Jean-Claude Elena. Very green, and
I don't know who
there's
the
probably some
perfumer is.
moss and vetiver in here as well.
Yeah, it's
This
just
is Jean-Claude Elena.
Yeah, I love
Very
it.
spring-like.
So good. Okay. So what do you think, Fourreau Noir, Serpentine? I know they're completely different.
They are completely different. This is a little bit too sweet for my like. I like everything except for that sweetness. It's almost like that goopy. It's got this goopy sweetness in the back, almost the same way like you get in Parfum de Marly's Herod or.
Oh, really?
But I think it's good. It's good. It's smoky. It's leathery.
I'm really excited to wear it in the
incensey.
winter. I like it, but yeah, I can see what you mean. It's a bit biting, the sweetness.
I like this as well. It's very crystal clear. It's very
Yes.
light and shadows.
So it apparently
and,
has like grass notes, aldehydes. I think there's some florals, but like green or blue florals or something, like hyacinth or I can't remember. Maybe violet. No. Maybe iris. I can't remember, but yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's it. So
yeah.
maybe we can finally start our summer list because
The guy in the lawnmower is finished cutting the dirt.
and if he wasn't, I was about to like drown him in the river. because he's just so annoying. This happens to us every single time we come to film at the park.
Yeah, we
He's just
show
kinda
up.
buzzing around.
But it's always like we show up, we set up, and then he starts cutting the grass.
He starts buzzing, and then we'll move down like half a kilometer, and he'll follow us down there. So he's quite annoying. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're still sticking around for 25 plus minutes, I kind of feel sorry
to
for
talk
you.
about 7 fragrances. All
All
right,
right.
see you around.